Wolverine, a mutant with an unstoppable healing power. Adamantium claws, as sharp as they are unbreakable. Versus Vandal Savage. For him, immortality, it's a weapon, a tool to gain power, to scheme, to bring humankind to its knees. I'm Shinnon, and I'm here to analyze their powers and strengths, to uncover who would win in a one-on-one fight. It begins with his birth in the late 1800s in the remote lands of Alberta, Canada. Originally named James Howlett, he's born to wealthy landowners, John and Elizabeth Howlett. But there's a dark secret here. Hints reveal that James's real father might not be John, but Thomas Logan, the Howlett's violent groundskeeper, who has a hidden affair with Elizabeth. As a young boy, James finds friendship with his caretaker, Rose O'Hara, and with Dog, Thomas's troubled son. But even friendship grows dark. Dog, shaped by his father's cruelty, grows resentful of James, and his anger festers. One day, Dog lashes out and tries to assault Rose, sparking a chain of events that can't be undone. Thomas is fired, and in his fury, he decides to take revenge, breaking into the Howlett home. Chaos erupts. In the heat of a confrontation, John Howlett is killed, and the trauma unlocks something primal in young James. Bone claws extend from his hands for the first time, and in blind instinct, he strikes, killing Thomas, the man who, unbeknownst to him, is his own father. James flees from everything he's known, carrying this tragic past, adopting the name Logan as he begins his life alone. But fate isn't done with him. Logan is captured by agents of the secretive Weapon X program, led by Professor Thornton, Dr. Abraham Cornelius, and Carol Hines. At a hidden facility, Logan's body becomes a scientific battleground. His mutant healing factor is the key that lets him endure the excruciating process of bonding adamantium to his bones. Pain beyond pain, a procedure lethal to any other human. But Logan survives, emerging as Weapon X, a weapon born of grief, tragedy, and brutal science. Wolverine's iconic origin story is now forged. Wolverine, also known as Logan, is a mutant with both innate and artificially enhanced abilities. Together, they make him one of the most formidable characters in the Marvel Universe. His primary mutant power? It's his healing factor. This allows him to recover from virtually any injury, and he heals at an accelerated rate. This healing ability also makes him resistant to most diseases and poisons. Plus, it slows his aging process significantly, letting him stay in peak physical condition for over a century. Then there's his skeleton, bonded with adamantium, a nearly indestructible metal alloy. His bones are virtually unbreakable, and the adamantium even extends to his retractable claws. These claws can cut through almost any material, making them deadly in combat. In addition to his healing factor, adamantium skeleton, and claws, Wolverine has superhuman senses. His heightened sense of smell allows him to track individuals across great distances. His enhanced hearing and sight, they make him exceptionally aware of his surroundings. These senses have cemented his reputation as one of the best trackers in the Marvel Universe. Logan's physical abilities go even further. He has superhuman strength, agility, and reflexes, giving him almost unmatched athleticism in combat. And he's also a highly skilled fighter, with extensive training in martial arts, military tactics, and hand-to-hand combat. Together, these skills make him a master of virtually all forms of combat, a formidable opponent even without his mutant powers. Another powerful aspect of Wolverine's abilities is his mental resilience. His long life and the countless traumas he's endured have made him highly resistant to psychic attacks and mental manipulation. His willpower and determination are legendary, often allowing him to push through pain and keep fighting when others would have given up. And finally, there's Wolverine's berserker rage. When he's pushed to his absolute limits, he can enter a state of uncontrollable fury. In this state, his strength, speed, and ferocity are enhanced to terrifying levels. He becomes a nearly unstoppable force, driven purely by instinct and a primal urge to survive and destroy his enemies. Around 50,000 years ago, early humans, descended from Homo habilis, began migrating out of Africa. As they spread across the globe, a particularly fierce tribe emerged in Europe, known as the Blood Tribe. They were brutal, ruthless, and infamous for their violent tendencies. But one of their leaders stood out from the rest, Vandar Ag. After a meteor crashed near his settlement, Vandar ventured to the site and was bathed in cosmic radiation. This strange force imbued him with intellect and strength far beyond the capacity of anyone else in his tribe. He evolved rapidly, gaining knowledge of the future, knowledge that would shape his ambitions. No longer bound by the limitations of his time, Vandar became a ruthless, authoritarian leader. He took control of the Blood Tribe and ruled with an iron fist, shaping human history in ways that no one could predict. As the years passed, Vandar would shed his old name. He became Vandal Savage, a figure whose immortality would see him through the centuries. Over the millennia, he took on countless identities, subtly manipulating global events to serve his ultimate goal of domination. But his ambitions would not go unchallenged. On several occasions, Vandal's plans were thwarted, most notably by a time-traveling Bruce Wayne. This encounter marked the beginning of a long, complex rivalry between the two, one that would span generations. Vandal Savage's ability to manipulate time, combined with his unparalleled intelligence, made him one of the most dangerous and enduring figures in human history. Vandal Savage's greatest power is his immortality. After discovering a meteor, he was exposed to its strange, ancient radiation. This wasn't just any ordinary energy. No. This radiation seeped into him, giving Savage a gift that no human could fathom, immortality. But it didn't stop there. It slightly boosted his strength, his stamina, his speed. It changed him. It reached into his very mind, his brain, pushing him instantly past the Cro-Magnon stage into a unique state of intelligence and awareness. Now Savage exists in a body that seems mysteriously immune to age, to disease, to fatigue. Some call it a miracle. Others call it alien intervention. This eternal life has been linked to the meteor's tektites, alien nanotechnology that may have rewritten him from the inside out. Savage is more than a brute. He's a warrior, highly skilled, with a knowledge of combat refined over countless lifetimes. He has mastered fighting styles with countless weapons, favoring swords, battle axes, knives, maces, weapons that carry the weight of history, much like himself. And though he avoids direct confrontation when he can, don't be fooled. His mastery of combat makes him a force few would dare oppose. But it's his mind, his strategic genius, that's truly terrifying. His expertise stretches across nearly every field humanity has known, from medicine to politics, knowledge drawn from centuries spent among the greatest minds and conquerors. He can lead armies, topple empires, bend people to his will, all with tactics that stretch back thousands of years. There are whispers of another power, a potential ability he barely acknowledges: dimensional travel. Some think he's crossed into other worlds, moving through dimensions, exploring different versions of Earth. It's unclear how, perhaps through an ancient artifact or by his own abilities. But if this power exists, he's reluctant to use it, wary of anything that lies outside his control, and especially wary of dimensional or time travel. All right, let's dive into a Wolverine versus Vandal Savage showdown. They're both immortal characters from different universes, each bringing unique strengths to the fight. But if we break it down, this battle might just tilt in favor of Vandal Savage. Here's why. For starters, when we look at Vandal Savage, we're talking about a man who has survived for tens of thousands of years. His power lies not just in brute force, but in his extensive knowledge, tactical skill, and, most importantly, his intellect. Savage has fought through countless wars, ruled empires, and developed strategies that have allowed him to dominate enemies far stronger than him. Now, Wolverine, he's an entirely different kind of fighter. His strength comes from his ferocious instincts and his nearly indestructible body thanks to his adamantium skeleton and rapid healing factor. However, Wolverine relies heavily on brute force and animalistic aggression. This works in many fights but can actually be a disadvantage against someone as patient and calculating as Savage. Vandal could outsmart him, exploiting Wolverine's more predictable fighting style. Secondly, while Wolverine's healing factor and adaptability are extraordinary, Vandal Savage has thousands of years of experience overcoming a range of enemies, adapting his strategies accordingly. Wolverine's durability, while impressive, isn't infinite. He feels pain, he tires, and every hit or trap gradually wears him down. Vandal would take advantage of this, using tactics that weaken Wolverine over time, even straining his healing factor. Savage also has a unique advantage in patience. He wouldn't engage Wolverine in a way that allows for quick recovery and retaliation. Instead, he'd use hit-and-run tactics, drawing the battle out for hours or even days if necessary. This long-term mindset plays to Savage's strengths. Finally, while Wolverine has decades of experience, Vandal Savage has millennia. He's allegedly ruled civilizations and possibly been figures like Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan. Despite this, he still retains the ruthlessness of his origins as a caveman. Even though his healing factor isn't as rapid as Wolverine's, Savage's intellect and countless lifetimes of combat training would give him an edge in a one-on-one fight.